Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the incredible origin story of a true spiritual masterpiece, the Beetak Vimarsh. Now, this isn't just your standard record of history. It's actually a daring attempt to chart the very journey of the soul itself. Think about it for a second. How exactly do you capture the history of a soul? We are so used to reading biographies of physical lives, right? You know, the precise states of birth and death, the grand battles won, the massive empires built. Those are tangible, easily recorded facts. But the Beetak Vimarsh attempts something much more profound, and honestly a lot more elusive. It attempts to document the unseen, spiritual awakening of an entire community and its master. It demands that we look way beyond the physical and try to chronicle the eternal. To wrap our heads around this, we're going to follow a quick roadmap. First, we'll look at the essence of Beetak. Second, its origins in Padmavati Puri Dham. Third, earning the title Mahamati. Fourth, we'll look at kings across 4 yugas. And finally, beyond to the Paramdham.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the essence of Beetak.
You know, there's a really brilliant contrast at the heart of this tradition, Beetak versus Vani. To truly grasp the depth of these teachings, you really have to understand how these two texts interact with each other. So while the Vani explores the sprawling cosmic philosophy and the overarching spiritual vision of what the masters actually said, the Beetak is a grounded, eyes-seen account of what they actually did. One gives you the divine theory, and the other gives you the human reality. You absolutely need both to fully grasp the whole picture, because the abstract philosophy only truly comes alive when you see it lived out in actual history. To really get how powerful this biographical text is, look at this amazing metaphor about reading it during the monsoon season. In the month of Shravan, just as the heavy, relentless rains wash away all the mud and physical pollution from the earth, carrying it all off to the sea, immersing yourself in the Beetak is said to wash away mental pollution. Think about our modern need for a mental reset. We accumulate so much psychological clutter, anxiety, and impurity over a single year. While the tradition views reading this history as an annual spiritual deep clean for the soul, making the mind pure, clear, and ready to receive higher knowledge.
Moving right along to Section 2, Origins in Padmavati Puri Dham. Okay, picture the scene, because the stakes are literally life or death for this community. It is the year 1751 in Padmavati Puri Dham. Mahamati Pranath Ji, their guiding spiritual master, takes a sudden, terrifying vow of silence right before his passing. The atmosphere is just incredibly tense. There is a staggering crowd of 5,000 gathered followers, anxiously waiting for guidance, totally adrift without their leader's voice. You got Maharaja Chhatrasal, a totally devoted and key figure, who is so desperate for final instructions that he literally forces his horse to swim through a flooded, raging river just to reach his master in time. And when he finally arrives, he is met with this heavy, profound silence. The master's departure is imminent, and the entire future of the community is just hanging dangerously in the balance. So, breaking his silence right in the nick of time, Pranath Ji issues 3 massive responsibilities. Why these 3? Well, because together they formed the essential pillars to keep everything from totally collapsing. First up, leadership. He stopped Maharaja Chhatrasal from giving into despair and tasked him with leading and physically protecting those 5,000 followers. Second, philosophy. He ordered Keshav Das to compile the 14 scattered parts of his teachings, the Vani, into one definitive volume so the divine message wouldn't be lost. And third, history. He commanded Swami Lal Das, who had basically been like his shadow, to write the Beetak. This guaranteed that future generations wouldn't just have the philosophical theory, but the authentic, lived biography of their awakening. All right, Section 3, earning the title Mahamati. The title Mahamati literally translates to Ocean of Supreme Intelligence. But listen, this wasn't just some polite compliment given to a smart leader. It was a highly specific spiritual designation. It was earned when 5 specific cosmic powers, known as the Panch Shakti, actually merged within Pranath Ji. Just imagine the sheer spiritual magnitude of this synthesis. You have the pure soul and divine enthusiasm meeting the Nur Tartam, or divine light. Combine that with a supreme command and an intellect that is fully awakened to the original eternal abode. When divine enthusiasm meets awakened intellect like that, you get a leader who can literally spark a spiritual revolution. And that brilliance, it totally rubbed off directly onto his disciple Lal Das as well. There's this great story where one day Pranath Ji challenged the gathered scholars and poets to name all 8 oceans of the supreme abode in a single 4-line poem. Everyone was completely stumped. But Laldas shocked his master by flawlessly naming all 8 oceans: Nur, Nir, Kshir, Dadi, Klit, Madhu, Ras, and Sarvaras, which means light, water, milk, curd, ghee, honey, juice, and supreme juice, all in just 3 lines. Pranathji was so profoundly thrilled by this burst of sheer genius that he actually added the 4th line himself. He then bestowed his own title, Mahamati, onto Laldas to empower him as he went on to write the Beetak. Let's zoom out for section 4, Kings across 4 yugas. So the Beetak doesn't just stick to recent local events. It pulls the lens way, way back to an absolutely massive macrocosmological scale. Pulling from the ancient Bhavishya Puran, it meticulously lists dozens of rulers across the 4 massive eras of human time, the yugas. We're talking 17 prominent kings in the Satya Yuga, 29 in the Treta Yuga, 19 in the Dwapar Yuga, and 20 in our current Kali Yuga. It is a sweeping, staggering timeline that contextualizes all of human history against the immense backdrop of cosmic epochs. So why list all these ancient kings, right? Well, because this staggering multi-era timeline basically serves as a cosmic countdown to one very specific historical moment, the reign of the 20th king of the Kali Yuga, Aurangzeb. The Beetak uses this vast timeline to make a really bold, electrifying claim. It says the historical moment of Aurangzeb's rule marks the exact prophesied arrival of the Nishkalank avatar, a pure divine incarnation meant to deliver a message of universal awakening. The entire history of empires and kings was literally just setting the stage for this ultimate spiritual revolution. Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, Beyond to the Paramdam. The core teaching here is that the soul's true home isn't anywhere in our solar system. It's not in the realm of the sun or the moon or the stars. It is the Paramdam, the supreme abode. Now, to understand this, we really have to grasp what the texts call Kshar and Akshar. Kshar is the destructible physical universe we live in right now, the realm of matter that eventually decays. The Paramdam is an eternal spiritual realm that exists completely beyond this destructible universe. It is a realm of pure, unending consciousness and bliss, totally untouched by the decay of the physical world. As we wrap up this explainer, looking back at this unbelievable historical and spiritual journey from a quiet, tense vow of silence to the mapping of literal cosmic eras, I want to leave you with a pretty profound question to chew on. If, as the Vimarsh claims, your physical body is entirely temporary, just a mere blip in a timeline of ancient yugas, where does your eternal soul truly reside? Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning and keep learning.